And that's something else, being differentials. We've got some differentials coming up for you now. We are going to start off with a differential in the name of someone that doesn't actually have a name. Makes sense in my head, but it's Zanka. It's called Matthias Jorgensen. I'm not too sure why, but his name on the game is Zanka. Now, he's a bit of a differential because selected by 2% of people, 10 points of course last game week, grabbed an assist in the very big 3-0 win, and maybe a bit of hype. Maybe thinking, oh yeah, but is he going to do that every game week? Probably not. If he's going to get a clean sheet every game week, look at his 5 fixtures, potentially. Newcastle, Southampton, West Ham, Leicester and Burnley all smell of games where they could get a clean sheet, considering Palace considered to be around the sort of standard of those teams. I feel like they could be getting a few more clean sheets there, maybe even a goal or two, assist or two could be good for Zanka and his owners. Matt Ritchie then comes up at £6 million, selected by 3.6% of people, got 1 point, not too good, but Huddersfield, West Ham, Swansea, Stoke, Brighton, looks really good for Ritchie, and he looks sharp. Him along with Atsu, along with Gale, looks sharp, and that's one thing to note. It was it was an off day for Newcastle. They didn't do as well as they could have done, but that wasn't helped by Joe Shelvey getting his red card. So Ritchie's definitely one to consider for the future. 3.6% of people have him in his teams. Could be set to rise with a few good game weeks under his belt. Then we've got Ward-Prowse of Southampton. £5.5 million, selected by 2.8% of people. He's been moved out to the right, which is a more attacking role than his central role that he would play alongside, let's say, Classy or Davis or Oriol Romeo. But the next 5 game weeks are looking really good, barring Man United at game week 6. But they've got West Ham, Huddersfield, Watford and Crystal Palace. Then, of course, Man United game week 6. So I feel like he could be having good points returns, and he's cheap as well. So he could be one to maybe get rid of and free money up for maybe your defence or your attack elsewhere, so it could be good from him. Then we've got a really interesting one, a Brighton player, so I covered all 3 of the promoted teams. Pascal Gross comes in, £5.5 million, he's a midfielder, but from what I'm seeing, he did play rather hard at the pitch for Brighton. Now granted, you look at Knockout on the bench, you look at Glenn Murray on the bench, who were 2 of their best players last season in the Championship, could be set to change his position, but he looks good. Playing up there, could be set to improve. Of course, playing against Man City with your first game in the Premier League, you're always not look as good as you could be. But Leicester, Watford, West Brom, Bournemouth, and Newcastle coming up could be good for him in the future. Then we've also got Mooney up front, got himself 2 goals, 12 points, £6 million. 2.2% of people have selected him. Newcastle, Southampton, West Ham, Leicester, and Burnley coming up could be really good for Stevie Mooney. And one to consider definitely is £6 million are cheaper options than the 6.5 or the 7 millions, or even 7.5 or 8 millions that have been suggested as a third striker. So Mooney could really be that excellent differential that helps your team with money going elsewhere.